Maybe you've heard the term environmental audit before and wondered what it actually means, or more importantly, what it's going to cost your business. And if you've tried looking online for answers, you've probably hit a bunch of vague pricing pages, or worse, those call for a quote messages that don't tell you anything. Here's the truth. An environmental audit, when done right, is one of the smartest things you can do for your business. But it does come with a cost. So let's break down what you can actually expect to pay for one. I'm Doug Ruhlin, Principal Environmental Consultant with RMA. We help companies across all kinds of industries, from small single-site operations to national-level firms, get clarity on their compliance through honest, thorough environmental audits. And one of the most common questions we get is, so what does this actually cost? Well, let's start with the basics. An environmental audit is like a checkup for your operation. We visit your site, we look at your day-to-day activities, your environmental plans and permits, your record keeping, and how it all stacks up against the regulations that apply to you. Local, state, federal, we cover it all. The end result is a clear, honest report that tells you what you're doing well, what you're missing, and what you need to prioritize to move forward. So what does that actually cost? Well, here's what we're seeing right now. Environmental audits typically cost between about $2,500 to about $10,000. And here's how that breaks down in the real world. If you're a smaller facility with relatively simple operations, maybe a small warehouse, a fabrication shop, or a basic commercial operation, your audit might fall somewhere between $2,500 and $5,000. For mid-sized operations, places like industrial parks, manufacturing facilities, or storage terminals, the cost is typically in the range of about $5,000 to $10,000. If you're a really large facility, managing multiple regulations, or operating multiple sites, and you need a deeper dive across air, water, stormwater, waste, training, or enforcement history, the project can land between $10,000 or $20,000 or even more. Now we know that's a very broad range, but here's what really drives those numbers. The size and complexity of your site, the number of environmental programs you're subject to, how organized your existing documentation and record keeping is, how much travel is required, and how quickly you need the work completed. Kind of like hiring a home inspector. You wouldn't expect to pay the same amount for a one-bedroom condo as you would for a 12-bedroom farmhouse with 3 additions and a questionable basement. Same thing here. Complexity drives cost. And here's something important to understand. Most people who reach out to us don't know what they need. They don't know the regulations that apply. They're not sure if they're in compliance or where their gaps might be. And that's exactly why environmental audits exist. And why, as frustrating as those call for quote pages are, getting a real number does start with a conversation. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to talk to someone who can ask the right questions and help you get a clear idea of what makes sense for your operation. At RMA, our pricing sits right in the middle. We're not the cheapest firm out there, and we don't aim to be. Low-cost consultants often cut corners, use templates, or pass your work off to junior staff. We're also not the overpriced big firm with glass offices and 5 layers of project managers. Every audit we deliver is done by a career-level expert and built from scratch for your site and operation. We charge what it takes to do it right. No fluff, no shortcuts, and no guesswork. So if you're wondering what it would cost for your business, or just want to understand your operations, reach out to us. We'll ask you a few questions, listen to your goals, and give you an honest, realistic quote so you can budget with confidence.